What is going on, YouTube? So coming back today with my next video in my 2016 NFL preview series. So officially done with the team preview portions, and today, as you could probably tell from the title, I'm going to be doing top 10 breakout players. Now, before I get into this list, the entire list will be posted in the description below, by the way. But like I said, before I get into the list, I do want to say that these are not in order. These are just 10 breakout players I have for the year. I don't have them going 10 to 1. I mean, I will emphasize more than others, so that's maybe how you could compile a list of emphasis and relevance in this video. So, let's start at number 1. And if you've watched a lot of my football videos already, or NFL videos already before this season, then you know that it would be Jeremy Langford. I am high on Jeremy Langford this year. You know, a lot of people think the real sleeper on the team at running back is Jordan Howard. Very well could be. We'll see when the season comes around. But I really think that Jeremy Langford's going to take hold of this running back job this year for the Chicago Bears. I think it's his for the taking right now. You know, both him and Jordan Howard are going to get the opportunities to take hold of it. But I really think that Langford's the guy. So, next breakout player is Breshad Perriman, wide receiver for the Baltimore Ravens. So, let me check where he is right now. Alright, so Breshad Perriman missed the entire season last year due to injury, and I believe he tore his ACL, and it looks like he will be available for the 2016 season. As far as I know, that's everything I've heard, and I think that I think he's ready to go. He's kind of a forgotten name at this point. You know, he was considered one of the sleepers last year. I think he very well could be the best receiver on that Ravens roster. Again, a Ravens team that had a pretty brutal season last year, but one of the teams that I could see being very improved heading into this year, even though they are in a very tough AFC North division. So, next one. You'll notice that both my quarterbacks on here have both kind of had breakout seasons already. But next one's Derek Carr, QB for the Oakland Raiders. So, Derek Carr obviously had a pretty good season last year, and I think he's only going to get better. Clive Walford, a name that I do not have on here, is breakout players. Maybe if it was top 20, then he would be on here, but I think he could possibly be a breakout tight end this year. I think he'll be a good one. And then you still got Amari Cooper, who I think could be one of the best receivers in the league in the coming years. So, I like the situation Derek Carr is in. I said already, I think the Raiders do have the very good possibility of making the playoffs this year, and I think Derek Carr will be a big reason why. I think he can solidify himself as a top 10 quarterback this year. He's close, but I don't think he's solidified himself yet. So, next breakout player, Artis-Payne, running back for the Carolina Panthers. I'm assuming if you watched a lot of the playoffs this year, you know who this guy is. And I say this for one reason, because, you know, he showed promise last year. There's no doubt about that. The Panthers, assuming they should be good again this year, I don't see a team taking that big a fall, even though the Panthers are a team that success comes and goes very, very quickly with that team. They're not a very consistently successful team. So, Artis-Payne, I think he could have a successful season because Jonathan Stewart might get injured. That wouldn't be a head-scratcher. Jonathan Stewart gets injured a lot. You know, last year was more of a head-scratcher. They stayed healthy for the entire season. And we'll see if it happens again. You know, if he does, that's great. He's probably the Panthers' best straight-up running back. But if he gets injured again, as I suspect he will at some point in the year, then I could see Artis-Payne stepping up and having a big year. Now, next breakout player, the tight end for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Ladarius Green. So, after a very honorable career ending, Keith Miller retiring, Ladarius Green is the tight end now for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger does like his tight ends, especially in the end zone. And we'll see how Pittsburgh's wide receiver depth holds up this year. If Martavis Bryant, Marcus Wheaton, and Antonio Brown are all healthy, not suspended, and ready to go, then that might take some of the touches away from Ladarius Green, but I don't think that all three of those receivers will be healthy, ready to go all the time. And then look at Le'Veon Bell. I think he could take some touches away, but he's already suspended for the first 4 games, most likely. So, again, take that into account. I think Ladarius Green could have a pretty big breakout year this year. So, next one, moving over to the defensive side of the ball. And I got one of the cornerbacks for the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's Phillip Gaines. So, a crazy fast corner. You know, played well last year while he did play. Missed a little bit of the season due to an ACL tear. But I think this guy could really step up and be one of the better corners in all of the NFL this year. You know, like I said, 4.4 speed, decent ball skills. We'll see what happens. So, next breakout player, and this guy, again, debatably already broke out, but I don't think his name is as big as it could be by the end of the season, and that's the outside linebacker for the Washington Redskins, and that's Preston Smith. So Preston Smith had a phenomenal second half of the season last year, and I think a linebacker duo between him and Ryan Kerrigan is very lethal, very underrated at that. So I think by the end of this year, I think, like I said, I think he could become a pretty big name on the defensive side of the ball, one of the better linebackers in the NFL, and yeah, that's pretty much it about him. So, at number 8, last defensive player as well. I got the defensive end for the Carolina Panthers, Kony Ealy. Ealy had a decent season last year, but the Panthers really revamped their defensive line this year. I think Ealy is ready to step up. I think this front seven for the Panthers is daunting. It's very, very good between, all the talent they have, between Quan Short, Kony Ealy, Thomas Davis, Luke Kuechly. They got a lot of good players in that front seven, and again, I think Ealy can step up and maybe become a household name by the end of this season. So at number 9, and this might be a hotly debated one because he was probably on a lot of people's breakout list last year. Now, a little note, if you're still watching up to this point in the video, I'm trying not to put rookies on here just because you're not really yeah, you are a breakout player, but breakout players are supposed to be, players that are still young but have slowly progressed in the league, or you just really feel like they're a sleeper to be a very good player for the year. So Ameer Abdullah, starting job is his for the taking, most likely with the Lions. He was expected to do somewhat big things last year. He was one of the bigger sleepers at the running back position. Didn't really do that well. But, I think that the running back position is going to become a lot more emphasized this year now that Calvin Johnson's retired. Still weird to say. But, again, they're going to have to rely a little bit more on the running back. So, at number 10, again, this guy, I think he's the only player on here that's made a Pro Bowl. Yeah, I think so. So, Jameis Winston, QB for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Stats-wise, not very much of a breakout year last year. 22 touchdowns to 15 interceptions. I mean, not bad for a rookie year by any stretch. He still had 4,000 yards passing, which, again, very good for a rookie year. But I think he could have a lot better year this coming year. I think they're going to rely a little bit more on him this year. I really don't think Doug Martin's going to have as good a year as last year because it was a contract year for him, and it was really kind of a outside the standard deviation of Doug Martin's normal seasons. Had a really breakout year at a weird point after he was trending downhill for so long and then whoop back up again. So again, I don't think Mike Evans is going to have as tough of a year as he had last year. It wasn't his best season at the college or NFL level. And again, I still like what the Bucs have in store for the NFC South this year. I think they're one of the up-and-coming teams in the league, and I think you can thank Jameis Winston for that. Like I said, I think he's ready to solidify himself, much like Derek Carr as a top 10 quarterback. All right, so that'll pretty much do it for this video. I will be coming back tomorrow with another video in the NFL preview. Don't know what that'll be yet, but still have a couple more to do. I believe it's NFL awards, Super Bowl pick, overall season preview, which would be the last one. And then we got top 10 breakout, or that's the one I did today, top 10 bowl predictions, top 10 teams, and then my sleeper team for the year. Also, check out my website. I will post that in the description below. I am working on all 32 team previews right now, outlining them in the same way that I did my 5 individual team previews, and all those, if you don't want to go check out the videos, you just want to see the written form of them, those are all in the description below as well, or those will all be linked in the description below. Also, follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Those links will be in the description below. As always, I tweet fire, sports stuff all the time. My Instagram is my Stadium Series Tour page, and that's one of the bigger parts of my YouTube too, so go definitely check that out. Support it if you can, and that's pretty much it. See ya.